What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Muscle, and this is another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast. And today we have a 90s, 80s legend in the building. You've seen this man on sound systems, you've seen him on stage shows, you've seen him right across the globe. You know what we have in the building today? We have Junior Cat in the building today. What's going on, big boss?
Enough respect, sir. Enough respect. They up on the move, same way,
Let's get into the beginning of it right here. When it came to where did you grow up in Jamaica and what actually got you introduced to music in the first place?
Well, I was grew up in Kingston 11, Cockburn Pen. Get involved in music, same place there in my community because it was like a empire, That's where Daddy Uri from, Colonel Josie Whale, and a lot more. Early be the doctor and watching Super Cat and them man they doing the thing, Trevor Rankin, all them people, Kingston 11.
All right, Kingston 11, and that's what actually got you involved there. So was a sound system you actually started on? What sound system did you start on there?
No, not really sound system, We started on DJ like at a younger age back in the school.
Got you.
You know what I mean? We used to knock pan and make beats and things like that on DJ. Till we used to punch a jukebox where you'd punch a B side of the record and try to learn to ride the rhythm.
Got you.
Then move on to the dance hall at a later stage now. Getting the microphone. I remember DJing on a sound named Soul Imperial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was on that song when you actually got there?
Well, actually that sound, was like a sound where would I call it like, it was a training ground that enough champion come through. Like I wasn't the first DJ for that sound. It was a whole heap more DJs. I told the people like Trevor Rankin. I remember say Peter Rankin and Lucky come there. I remember say people like Brigadier Jerry, Little John, Pupatayan, Trevor Rankin was popular, regular on that sound because him and the owner was good friend. So each time the sound of a playing out, he would go and get Trevor Rankin. And I would watch Trevor Rankin as a Indian man DJing reggae music, and it was very inspiring to me, you know what I mean? And I admire Trevor Rankin. But it was a whole heap of champion, as I tell you. DJ that song before me.
And what year are we talking about here?
We're talking about like 1982, 83. You know what I mean? Them time that I was young youth going to school. Sunday night, Saturday night would be dance hall night. And I would be in the dance hall watching and, learning.
Yeah. And who was the first person around Soul Imperial to actually hand you a mic? Say, yes, come down, Junior Cat.
Early B.
Okay.
Yep. I remember one Saturday night it wasn't so crowded, and we was there free lounging and freestyling and Early B. Actually we had a clash, me and the next DJ named D-Man Ghost. But D-Man Ghost was a younger kid for me, but him was popular on the mic. Cause as me tell you, them was better DJ for me. And me and him actually go at it the night, and that's when them find out. So well, then them never know. So that's for me did have so much lyrics. So that's when Early B would, call me, come in, Mr. Dax, and do my thing. And from there on, people put your name on the flyers for the Christmas party. It was a good vibe.
Okay. So your original name wasn't Junior Cat. Your original name was Mr. Dax.
Mr. Dax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get that name there in the first place?
Well, that name is a controversy, because Junior Demo says him give me the name, and Bonnie General says it's him give me the name. But I remember one Christmas night we had a dance down by a place named Tollgate in Clarendon.
Mm-hmm.
And Juna Demus, that's the first time I was gonna meet Juna Demus. And him said to me, say, yeah, super cat a brother. So I say, yeah, man, I'm a brother. So when each time him pick me the mic, he wouldn't say, come in, Mr. Dax, because him don't know that name. So
Okay.
eventually it's like him giving me a name. So he would have said, come in, Juna Cat.
Got you.
And from there, the name kind of a stick. You know, and Bunny General says him give me the name because the chair we used to DJ the sound.
Soul Imperial.
No, we was on a sound this time named Cosmic Force.
Cosmic Force. Yes, yes, yes. I know that
Yeah,
song.
I leave Soul Imperial now, as I tell you now, when you start to get popular,
Mm-hmm.
then other people would come for you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's a Christmas holiday. And we remember any artist who is a good artist and you don't get a booking on a Christmas holiday,
Mm-hmm.
you're not good.
Yeah. big holiday time and you don't have a bookings.
You
Clearly you're not
don't have no bookings, nothing at all, no event.
mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about chuck back. I wasn't talking about car ride and everything there. So we would leave from Christmas Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and the sound playing from Christmas Eve straight back till Boxing Day, going back into New Year.
Mm-hmm.
So you carry your clothes and everything, and you go up to the country and the chuck back, and we beat up into the river, and at night time the sound string up, and same place we kill the goat, we cook the goat, and you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that was where we used to. That's where we coming from. That's dancehall.
Mm-hmm. Cosmic Force. And that song was from Clarendon, I think it was.
Yeah, it was from a place named Tollgate in Clarendon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that night, that Christmas night, it was you, Junior
It was,
Demus, and
it
Bunny General.
was me, Junior Demus, Bonnie General, and was other people there. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was we'd have a singer named Simple Simon.
Yes.
He used to sing on the sound too, and then sometime Cocotte would come there,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I remember that night it was me, Bonnie General, and Junior Demus.
Yeah. And that was one of your first nights you said that you've actually met Junior Demus that time there.
First night I met Junior Demus. It
Okay.
was in Clarendon.
Yeah.
And he's from St. Mary. So eventually them book him and him find him way down there.
Mm-hmm.
And Junior Demus would come to the dance and leave the same night while I was there, like I was living there
Yeah.
after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was working the sound.
So what would you be doing like in the daytime? Because you know, nighttime is when the dance is keeping. So what would a DJ that came to country with the song, what would you guys be doing in the daytime?
We'd be there in Clarendon sometime and we go to the river, because them have
Mm-hmm.
a lot of river in Clarendon now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of things to do because it's country, and sometimes it's better for ease out of the town and go in the country, live a little country life. There is more fresh food there and more natural vibes, and you get time for meditate because it's work, you know. It's
Yeah.
not like you're there wasting time or you just come down here, come check somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Each and every time when you feel like go home, you can go home. Because what we used to do, we used to go home like every Monday and
Yeah.
come back every Friday. But sometimes we would just be there for a while because the
Yeah.
sound play regular. Sometimes you'd have a Wednesday night dance, and the boss is a man like this, him have him own bar and thing like that. So they would string up the sound and play out, and we just DJ.
Okay. And Cosmic Force here, how long were you actually on Cosmic for?
I was working Cosmic Force for like 4 or 5 years.
Okay. Did you do
Yeah,
any clashes on Cosmic Force?
lots, lots
Tell
of
me,
class.
tell me some of them because we know you're a hardcore DJ. I want some of those
Mm.
stories there.
We clash with a lot of sound.
Mhm,
Trust me, cause them time as I told you, Bonnie General,
mhm,
Papa San, the Boss Odaya, all those artists. Anybody feel like go for? Bammy Man, Cocotte, everybody was there.
mhm.
And I remember one night we clashed with Arrows. arrows we clash with down there in Clarendon, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a dangerous situation, man.
Okay.
They
Start
never win a
with.
round. They never win a round.
Mm-hmm.
And any sound, we clash with a sound one time named I tell you about the sound name. The boss, it was a brother named Bramwell.
Yeah.
You know, I forgot the name of the sound. But as a youth, he used to spar with Dennis Brown. What the
Okay.
sound, man? Was a big sound though. Them time they Tipali and Rapper Roberta work the sound
Yes.
and some other artists and them come down there in Clarendon one Saturday night. And I tell you,
Mm-hmm.
it was an experience for me as a younger DJ to watch how Bunny General and them man, because them man, they man we can trace, you know.
Yes.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Them time me never so bad way like how me can tell us when me come back a jar or now me did ready. Them
Mm-hmm.
time me did a train. And
Got
me got to gain a lot of experience and find out say the DJ business is not an easy game because anyhow you're not sound clash where you depend the other sound.
mm-hmm.
And a man over there tell you about your mother and your father and all them things. I remember your mother no there the dance and your father no
Yeah.
there the dance. And it's not nothing personal, but people got deep sometimes. So you have to really stand up
Yeah.
and just know say it's nothing personal, it's sound clash because we kill sound and sometimes we lose clash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're 100% right. You're a Cosmic Force. All right. So when you're in Cosmic Force, do you actually start recording any music yet or not yet?
No, I'd have one song. Them time I'd have one song where I did record for Early B.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first song, you know. We wasn't recording song because them time that them used to say some artists now have no studio appearance, you know.
Got
And
you.
me never know if me was one because me wasn't recording song.
Mm-hmm.
You know, songs recording come long after. We was there in the dance hall for a good while. Sounds after sounds. Because after I leave Cosmic Force,
Mm-hmm.
I go back to Kilimanjaro.
Okay. So then this is the first time you went to Jaro then?
No, I used to DJ Jaro sometime if it come to play. Jaro would come and play in our community in Bambulan.
Yes.
From them long time there. So I wasn't DJing the sound, but sometimes you get a piece of it.
Got you.
But I leave after I done with Soul Imperial, go to Clarendon
Mm-hmm. Got you.
and Cosmic Force. Then leave Cosmic Force, come back to the community, still DJing Soul Imperial. Back from Soul Imperial to Kilimanjaro.
Got you. Okay. So when you got to Jaro, who was on Jaro now when you got there this time?
Well, as I said, you know, Jaro, people like Early B and Supercat, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
getting busy now, getting ready to graduate
Yeah.
because Early B becomes 85 DJ champion
Mm-hmm.
along with Supercat as inspiring partner.
Mm-hmm.
So eventually, them start to record song, you know, get
Mm-hmm.
international. They never have much time for the sound.
Mm-hmm.
So then that is where we step in now,
Got you.
start DJ the sound. So it would be me, Ugly Man, which is the same Ninjaman,
Yep.
people like Eddie Murphy,
Mm-hmm.
German,
Mm-hmm.
Iron Man, Puddy Roots was still there, Dirty Harry was still there, Liquor Twitch was still there.
Mm-hmm. And what year
Yeah.
we're talking about here?
We're talking about 86, 87.
86, 87. Yes. This is when, and who was playing Jaro at this time here?
Huh?
Who was selecting Jaro?
Well, we'd have a selector named Jeremy Lee.
Yes. Yes.
That was the same Imperial selector. But when I went there, first it was Apache Eye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Apache Eye, that was the studio mix selector, was playing Jaro.
Okay, so Apache I originally came from Studio Mix.
Yeah. No, it came. Pachi I leave, and then Jeremy Lee came.
Mhm. Got you.
Apache I leave
Mhm.
the sound. Him leave the sound, and then Jeremy Lee, that is Soul Imperial selector now.
Mhm.
That's our original selector from the community.
Yeah,
Eventually get the work to play the sound. So it was like our whole crew there now.
yeah, for
Hmm.
sure. And you said this time Ninjaman was still called Ugly Man at this time here, and you
Yeah,
still didn't start recording yet per se. You just did one song for early bit, but didn't get back into the studio
yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm. What was your
We
time
wasn't
like around
recording.
Jaro?
Eh?
What was your time like around Jaro that time there? What were some of the sounds or some of the dances that you got into at that time?
That is the time when we get into clash with sound like Stone Love, Silverhawk, you know.
Yeah.
Sound like Black Scorpio, Stereo One,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Um Creation,
Mm-hmm.
you know. A lot of sound.
Yeah.
We clash with a lot of sound. Jaro was a sound where it's the highest mountain, you know. It
Yes.
not feel so easy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Jaro the tune them for back himself. So if the DJ can defend himself, then it's a mighty road.
Mm-hmm.
So to be a DJ and Jaro sound is still a learning process because you have a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where we find out when we go to Jaro sound, when them play certain tune and certain rhythm. If you cannot make it sound like Jaro, then that is where you fall below rubber dub.
Okay.
Because, yeah, because you have to be acceptable in a certain segment to be able to get the job.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the best of the best. Used to be there with people like Lone Ranger, Jim Kelly, and all
Mm-hmm.
them people. Them people might never do a lot of song, but them man there was dancehall number one
For
when we
sure.
talk about dancehall. Yeah.
Yeah, no, classic right there. All right, give me two of your most memorable clashes on Jaro, something that you'll never forget at that time there.
I never forget the clash that we had Silverhawk the night.
Mm-hmm.
Because them time the Silverhawk was running Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And what make we really win Silverhawk is because Silverhawk wasn't a rubber dub sound. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like them never have tune, but them never have DJ.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And that's where they fall below the belt because when Jara come in and we come in, it wasn't even Jara that killed them the night. It was we.
Yeah.
You understand me? And it was like it's violence with where Silver, because Silver can steal the sound and is really stealing make most of us.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them rhythm the way you play stealing make them.
Mm-hmm.
But we was just trying to not lose a clash. Being Jara was always being a winner and it's we now.
Mm-hmm. So that
You
night,
know?
Silverhawk was playing dub plates and you guys were DJing live on the song.
Yeah, and Silverhawk was playing the most latest dub plate.
Mm-hmm.
Me Jara was just like just start to vice DJ dub plate. That
Yes.
time is the first night Jara played a DJ dub plate. With the same Ninjaman, change him name back from Ugly Man with a true name, Dead P, as you
Oh,
remember the song.
okay. So that's where that kicked off from.
Yeah, that's where the song come from. Jara is the first one record that song. And we played the night.
Mm-hmm.
Sound boy, tonight when Jara shut the door, you dead like a roach.
Mm-hmm.
And they played the song, and it was the first time Jaro gonna play a DJ and dub. Jaro never used to play DJ and dub. We played singer on part one, and we DJ on part two.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the Punani rhythm the night, and the whole dance turned over, and him do the tune live.
Crazy. So I guess because you guys knew you're playing Silverhawk is where you say, okay, they're playing dubs, so you guys needed to cut some DJ dubs yourself.
Yeah, yeah. That's why many sound cannot play right now. That's why you don't hear Jalove play and you don't hear even Sturograph or a certain sound, don't even people love them. They don't have the power what Jaro have, because Jaro was doing dub plate. Many sound wasn't doing dub plate.
Got you. Big,
That's
big,
the
big.
dub plate will make Jaro really stand up. Because all them tune dub plate playing in the ghetto tonight.
Yes.
That them tune them the whole Jaro firm.
Because I think
Telegraph
that,
never really have an anthem.
okay. I
Yeah.
think that Silver Hawk dance you're talking about, was that the one in 88?
Yeah, in Skateland.
Yeah. Classic dance. Classic dance. Give me another clash that you remember on Jaro.
I remember a clash with Black Scorpion and Stur one same place in Skateland. You know, them time the Stitchy was going on bad. General Trees at Char Fire. You know, but Jaro was playing classic. You know, and I remember Cat passed through the dance tonight. We hold it firm, we have them locked. And you know, I remember Cat came there tonight in my Ainsley, and Ainsley pull up couple dub plate and pull down the bass and thing and show and couple dub, and Cat hold the mic, and you know what I mean? Next piece of problem again. So from there, we and them again. That was a big clash. Everybody talk about it. Was a hard fight. Because Stitchy was not easy person to pass. And Black Scorpio was around the sound and go on with him thing. And Screw was playing, I remember, and Trees. A Char Fire. Yeah.
But as Cat and Ainsley came in, it was, you guys were there already. And
Yeah,
Cat and Ainsley
I
came in
think
and
Cat was
sealed the
coming.
deal.
I think they may have come from New York. I think they may know about the clash. But we'd have everything in our man.
Good. Question: when was the first night that you and Supercat actually DJ'd on the same sound?
Well, actually, you know, when Supercat just get the work on Jaro, you know, when he just get the work when Jim Kelly died, I remember when Jaro pick up Cat that night. I remember him pick me up, and we went to the dance, but nobody never come because Jim Kelly did just lose him life. And Jaro was in a mourning, and you know, and we went early. What him name Ainsley play some tune and with DJ, but that wasn't nothing big them time. There it was just like one of them dance where I can remember when we did Young, we did pass the mic together.
On Jaro, Supercat and Junior Cat. Did you ever actually hear that?
Like Jaro would know that Mr. Dax, you know? So I never start work the sound at that time, as I tell you, but I remember when dear it was up in Laverne Savern. Long time. And Jaro did pay me money. The morning, but the dance, it was a man like that, you know. Sometimes the dance not work out, he may still pay you because him get paid.
Yeah.
People respect Jaro like that.
Yeah.
And he will play back for you if the dance not work out.
Yeah. Fair businessman.
Yeah.
All right there. Question for you again. When it comes to you and Supercat, how many years apart are you guys?
That's a good one.
Why?
Well, you know, Cat might be 3-4 years older than me, you know.
Okay.
You know, because as I told you, my mother have 4 of you know.
Got you.
4 boy and Cat are the biggest one. And I'm
we're
the last.
Okay, you're the last, he's the first, so there's 2 in between.
Yeah.
So when it came to like brothers, were you hanging out with Cat or you were hanging out with the other brothers because he was the oldest one?
No, because in time pass by. Remember me? I used to live by Cat House in Long Island.
Mhm. No, we didn't think that. We didn't get to New York yet. We're still talking about Jamaica. When you guys were growing up as kids, were you hanging out with Cat as a kid, or you're hanging out with your other brothers and Cat was doing what he?
No, we never. No, we don't hang with brothers.
Mhm.
I never remember hanging out with my brother them like that. We don't grow like that.
Okay.
Each one have a different friend.
Yes.
Me and my brother them never hang like that. Each brother have a different friend. Me and my brother them never hang out like that. Not even when we get big now, we might just reason and thing like that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Didn't know that. Didn't know that at all. So, are you the only two artists in the family?
Yeah,
Okay. Everybody else is doing whatever they're doing there.
yeah.
Oh,
One of my brother used to DJ, but then him drop it.
yeah.
I think them can DJ though.
Yeah. I would say
They
it runs
do.
in the blood. I would say so.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into some of your early recording here because you said you had recorded a song for Early B. What was the name of that song there?
Now give me no gun, now give me no weapon. We record it at Tough Gang Studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what year was that there?
That time when we record that song, it was about 1986.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Early B was 85 champion, and then they're back in the studio 86, and he was doing I think the Sunday Dish album for Ja Thomas. But I remember there was Vice in Conrad Crystal and the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And like him say, yeah, give Mr. Dax a try, because I was still Mr. Dax that time.
Mm-hmm.
That record, I don't think it said Junior Cat on it.
Okay, so it's around somewhere, but it's out as Mr. Ducks.
Yeah.
All right. Because me personally, one of the earlier Junior Cat songs that I remember on a record was Anorexal Body. It was on the same rhythm like the Ninjaman.
Yeah, that was when we reach a jar or no.
Mm-hmm.
When we reach a jar or no, when I tell you Ninjaman start to record.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we make that rhythm for ourselves. We and Cement play the rhythm for we.
Okay.
Done by Seaview.
Mm-hmm.
And when Ninja record that tune, you sent for youth protection.
Yes.
When I did the song Anorexal Body, that was the two song on the rhythm. Then Ninja went and buy Shabba on the rhythm. So
Okay.
Ninja was the producer that was Killamanjaro label.
That was a Jaro production.
Yep. But it was Ninja just used Jaro name as a label. But it's Ninja production.
Crazy. So that rhythm only has on the Ninjaman, because Ninjaman and Courtney Melody that did the song together, the protection.
Yeah.
You and Shabba.
Yeah. No, Shabba is on the rhythm by himself and me by myself.
Yeah, well, yeah, those are the three songs on the rhythm itself, though.
Yeah.
Big. Didn't realize that there was a Shabba on the rhythm also.
Yeah, when I invite Shabba on the rhythm afterward.
All right. So what came next in your recording career after that early type of music there? Where did you go from there?
Well, if I remember record that song for Ninjaman, then I record that song for Witty, was Music Master, because Ninja them was by Music Master now, because me and Ninja did a pair.
Okay.
So it was by Music Master. I remember I record a song for Witty named Gala Sewan. Never go on so well neither. Ninja was going on in that time for Ninja Boss before the whole of it,
Yeah.
Then after that now I went to Scorpio and did a couple songs over by Scorpio. Never went so well neither, but I was on a couple of the rhythm them.
Still trying to figure out your recording style, because remember at this time you're figuring out your dancehall style, because a lot of people don't realize dancehall style and recording styles are two different styles. Yeah,
I went to Black Scorpio because we was getting interested into recording now, because being at home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll wake up in the daytime and say, we take it serious. So we're gonna go to the studio and say where we can get done, or say whosoever know we. And Scorpio did upset me, because as me say, we clash. and him never have no bad vibe. That's him would have say yes. Me know him can DJ, so would have record him. I remember the like 3-4 single for Scorpio. When I read him invite one time. No. Invite him on a studio one rhythm one time.
Okay.
And it was me. Them time the trees live down the road from the studio. So trees wouldn't come to the studio every day.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember them time that it was me, Everton Blender was there. Them time that was the first time I remember when I meet Anthony B there. When him just do the tune name Art and Soul, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Them time if I don't if me even not yet. But
This
I
is
never
word.
I never get much success there, you know.
Mm-hmm. So
But
you're still on sounds and recording at this time here.
yeah. Did a lot of a tune for people just running around. Sometimes I can't remember some of the people who I record some of the song them for, you know.
Because you're still trying to figure out your style there. Because as you said, you were still on sounds and you're recording. Because even as a sound, because we're going to continue recording just now, but there was one thing I forgot to tell you. I remember seeing you on that classical Stereo Mars dance where Supercat, Borobantan, and Nicodemus all had on the white suit. But you, Cutty Ranks, and the whole you guys just had on normal clothes that time there.
Yeah, because what happened, you know, them time that we was still at Jaro.
Okay.
But through being this Skengdan thing, our dance flop. So would I hear say Jaro up the road and thing and you know this hype and thing are go on. So we passed through. But it's not like we never have nothing to do. We was at our sound.
Yeah.
You know, we was working our sound at those times.
Yeah. So you weren't on Stereo Mars. You just passed through as an artist, demand them are there, so you decided to.
Yeah, I was on Stereo Mars. This when I passed through there that night. Now they get to discover me now. And people start to ask about me. That's how when I time I end up back at Stereo Mars again.
Okay. All right, because the funny thing with it, I've seen that video a million times, but there was a different version, and that's the version I actually seen you on.
Yeah.
Because most people wouldn't realize that you were on that dance there.
Yeah, I was there in a black shiny shirt with a little felter. Yeah.
All right. And that made you get back to Stereo Mars again. What other dance did you do on Stereo Mars?
Well, with Stereo Mars, I end up at Stereo Mars where one night time is me and Little Larry alone and DJ the sound. Because Supercat and Nicodemus gone to New York.
Yeah.
And the sound did have so much bookings with so much date where them tech where if we wasn't good DJ, most of the promoter wouldn't accept we, so all those dance would cancel.
Yeah.
And when I'm telling you about places like Negril, Westmoreland, you know, Ochirias, Jack Ruby Land, them time it was like me, Little Larry, and I Chuck Candy, Putty Rankin would come sometime, Ricky Tuffy, you know, Sancho, Ninjaman, you know. Yeah, we was holding it off so good that other sound was still looking for we too.
So at this time, Yami Bolo, Tenasa, Borabanta, and Supercat, Nicodemus, they were all gone already.
Yeah, all these people now get international now, you know what I mean? Them from Miami to New York to England.
Did you ever get to start flying out when you were on Stereo Mars, or this came later on down in your career?
No, I remember one time the second boss for the sound, Skengdan came to Jamaica, you know, and I went to Mandeville, and the other boss was telling the general, say, him a DJ the sound, you know, super calico brother, and I'm bad, you know, and he must say, hey, bring in your passport, and thing, and you know, I remember when they having that showdown in Miami at the baseball stadium, it was 50 that we get you with visa to go there. And I remember go there and perform, and mash it up
Yeah.
and go back to Jamaica. And when I go back to Jamaica, Jaro was going to Canada. And I didn't have to even go to the embassy because it was proven that I just came in and the guy did so be knowing with the Canadian people and because he would bring an artist every other week or a sound, And I was going to Canada with Jara again.
How was your first time in Canada? What was that like?
Well, it was an experience, I didn't used to the indoor DJing like we used to the outdoor. And once you're under the roof,
Yeah.
then you have to learn to master that because it's a lot of difference there with the rhythm and thing. You know what I mean?
The echo and the feedback and everything.
Yeah. And Jaro tried to the way they tune the system and thing, I was trying to make it sound like the real Jaro. And I think Ninja was there too. And it was some other youth like Carl Meeks, Daddy Lily, Philip Fan and them youth then. There was more experienced people more than me.
Yeah.
And most of them did a big tune. I was just on sound.
Crazy. Because if you could see, your journey has been you went through a lot on sound before you actually really got into
the
real and proper
I love
way.
sound system, I would go to a show and sometimes, it's not to say I can't DJ in the band. But I would rather to DJ in the sound.
Yeah.
Because I train on sound system. And not many sound system can play now to sound like sound system back then. So then now you have to adjust to DJ and a sound if the sound selector do not understand your style.
Yeah.
They'll drop you off the rhythm and show you over there. You would look unprofessional.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we started down the road to your recording. Let's get into it now. So you said you did some stuff for Black Scorpio, Early B and stuff. When did you really start to get firm in recording where you could say, okay, yeah, I feel this, I like this, and you started to make actual hits out of recording?
Well, I remember, I see when I run into John and he tell me he want to record me, that's when I really see myself as an important person. If these people is looking at you in that way. And I never waste no time. And we did 2-3 songs and it kicked off where everybody was like, yeah, I want to record Juna Cat or thing like that. But I was using the dancehall style, as I say. I wasn't writing the song them. I was just doing it like how we do it in the dance. You could play the rhythm and I would make the song right there. And then sometimes the song would not be 100 because I never really take time to because we was so fast. But all of these songs is bad song.
Yeah.
Because people accept them. Because sometimes we don't even know that we're doing so good. Sometimes we think we're not doing so good, and people still tell you, yes, it's nice and it sounds good because we train that way, not to praise ourselves, and the sound sometimes will change by doing it over and over, like it don't sound good. I remember doing a song one time for a guy, and the engineer said to me, say, I don't like the song, I don't like the way the song going, And I say, yeah. Let me call back this guy for this song. I hear what the guy saying. And the guy was saying, that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I want. And I said, sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. So you need somebody to tell you. Yeah, man, it sounds good also, but you can do better because of the training where we get. Because DJ business is really changed. It's easy now. We never used to like take a chorus and then take a verse. We just go in it. I just do the tune line by line. We never used to do that. Now the engineer would tell you, do the chorus and just break. We're gonna ad lib the chorus, or we're gonna harmony the chorus, and then now we're going into the verse.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my style. I like to bubble, you know what I mean?
Keep it going.
Yeah, and that's where you get the juice and the current out of it because it's real.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to attach something piece by piece. That's not my job.
Yeah, that's not your style. So
Yeah.
it was John you started to record for first or King Jammies?
I record a song for John named I would have let you go.
Mm-hmm.
And the Johnny Dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the Johnny Dollar was running so fast. The song was like a fast song the way I was DJing the song, but the chorus didn't fit.
Mm-hmm.
So we take the song to Steely. Steely fly the vice to the Everless. Take the General TK vice. Bah, 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 bah. Then you want go dead. It is a general dopey. That's General TK vice.
That's TK's voice. Okay.
Yeah. So you fit it into that empty space right there. Right?
Crazy.
Steely, Steely is a genius. Steely make all of them rhythm 90s, um 80s,
Mm-hmm.
right? 90s don't catch back 80s.
Yeah.
And 2000 don't catch back 90s.
Yes.
And Steely is the guy who put all of these things together.
Crazy.
And I don't afraid to tell you, Steely is the one who bring up that song
Mm-hmm.
and make that song be what it be because you see something into the song.
Mm-hmm.
Which the song would just be a little regular Junior Cat song.
And would you say that was your first hit on record?
Yeah, that was a big one in New York there, because that's what the song would make people know me when I would hear would call Dan one studio calling for Junior Cat.
Mm-hmm.
I never know about dub plate like that so much. Otherwise, we used to sit down in the studio at Jamaica, and if a foreigner come, they don't care who's the artist. Sometimes everybody just get at work because a foreigner come down and invite some people and give them money. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know the guy don't know. We don't know where I'm going with the song. We don't know where I'm going with it. But that's how we start out. Now,
Mm-hmm.
when a person call for you
Mm-hmm.
personally,
Mm-hmm.
that means they need you because you doing something.
Yeah.
And
Makes
that's
sense.
when I know, yeah.
With Finger, so then how did you get to record a Top Dog album for King Jammies then?
After I finished, did that song with John,
Mm-hmm.
then we did a couple more songs with John,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's when King Jammy's called for me now, cause it wasn't me and they supposed to do the album. It was supposed to be me and Apache Scratchy,
Okay.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Being there now, recording now, and Scratchy was by Penthouse too.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing most of the work. And being this song, I would have let you go, take off and all them thing there. And I was doing more song in Jamaica, like bad songs when we did have otherwise. So then Jammins take over that now and I did the album. That was Jammins' album, Top Dog.
Mm-hmm.
So I was recording for John and I was recording for Jammins.
Yeah. So you were basically inside of the Jammies camp there. So when you got to Jammies, because I think that album came out either 1992 or 1993, one of those two there.
1992.
93. Who was at Jammies when you got there already? Who were some of the artists? Because I get at that time you were a Jammies artist, we would say.
Yeah, I become the Jammins artist, call it that.
Who else was there as artists at that time there?
Well, as I was saying, it was a big camp, because as you know, Jammins is the man who control all of that. So call it almost everybody was there. You know, it's that some of the people graduated, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And move on with them career. And Jammin was still producing. So it would take in anybody that will have talent. Because
Mm-hmm.
Jammin wasn't looking at who you was DJing Kilimanjaro or you was DJing that sound,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
He becomes a producer. So that's what he's into. So once you have a good song and you sound good. I remember Jammin's record, a lot of artists to it, them never make it and them never sound so good neither.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went there where Shabba, Ninja getting big, Dominic,
Mm-hmm.
Colin Roach,
Mm-hmm.
Pat and Tony, Dennis Brown come there, Gregory Isaac come there, you know what I mean? Everybody. That was so when you went to Jamin's place now, you know, so well, this is where you're getting international. So if you have a talent inside, all you have to do is just push it out, and then now that's what we do. And from there, you know,
Is where everything started to happen right there. Okay, so then when did Bounty Killer actually come into the fold in Jammies?
I remember when I was there one day and Bounty Killer came there, you know. I think it was Harry Toddler take him there. And Bounty Killer come there
Mm-hmm.
and he was doing his thing. But when Killer come there, it was a crew. There was a crew, like it was Killer Boom Dynamite, Harry Toddler, and somebody. If I remember, Harry Toddler was like the DJ at that time.
Yeah.
But being a person Bounty Killer now, it wasn't a person who come to talk much. I saw he come to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So Killer started record songs in there and do his thing in there, you know. And then I left.
Yeah.
I remember I left out, you know. Sing a couple songs. The same song I would have let you go getting big in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did the song Never Want Hold a Gun
Yes. Yes.
for King Jammins.
Mm-hmm.
And I come back on the Three Blind Mice again. That is when, you know, them start know about me in New York now by singing these songs now. You start to get around dub plates now. Dancehall people start to know you now.
Mm-hmm.
So I leave out, come to New York.
All right. And what year did you leave to come to New York?
I think I leave and come to New York like about 1998.
Okay.
98 up there, so somewhere there, so
Mm-hmm.
I go back from 98, go back up to the coming up there, so
Mm-hmm.
97, 98.
Mm-hmm.
We start to travel, come to New York.
Yeah.
Because what happened, you know, I was here before, you know, not even recording, you know.
Okay.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I was here before, not even recording.
What were you doing up there?
I did have a visiting visa where I used to come and visit.
Mm-hmm.
I just come and visit more time and just there, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't even DJing.
You weren't DJing, no sound, no nothing at that time there.
No, no. That time after me leave out, long time.
Mm-hmm.
After the Mr. Dax thing, it's go back when me go back Jamaica for me meet, as me tell him, me meet John when him say he want to record me.
Mm-hmm.
So me meet John and start though recording because them time who was running the place? Apache Scratchy.
Yes.
It was Apache Scratchy running the place. Them time there, I never had no big song when Apache Scratchy was saying, me and the son super cat a the daddy, so me and the wicked Apache.
Ah,
And Pancok, Apache Scratchy,
yes.
you know. So it's afterward when me meet him now back at Jammins now when I tell the Jammins ask for the album.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he was getting out of there or something like that, but I was getting in.
Mm-hmm. Got you. So when you got to New York, was that when you signed the Wild Apache deal there with Supercat?
Yeah, that's when I leave Jammins.
Hmm. And then you came to New York. And what was that journey like now?
Well, as I said, we did the Good, Bad and Crazy album,
Hmm.
which never really do nothing much for me.
Hmm.
Then we went and did the single DJ's Origination and the Rhythm.
Hmm.
Was a big song in New York again, was but Burbanton went to #1 on the rhythm.
Okay.
Then we end up did a couple more single there. It wasn't successful for me because I was still there when all those big songs was doing.
So you were in the camp yeah, well, it would make sense because you're on the album, which is you, Supercat, Nicodemus, and Junior Demus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So then all this time, so Cat, he got the big bus because all you guys were signed to Wild Apache, but then he had signed the label or he had signed himself to what was a big label that he had got signed to?
Why I signed to Columbia.
Columbia. Did he sign the label or he just signed as himself?
They signed the label.
Got you. Okay. So then they're working on his career, but they didn't really take your career as serious as you think
Yeah,
they should have.
we didn't sign to Columbia, we signed to Wild Apache.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But Cat signed to Columbia.
Yeah.
So as I tell you, we spend a lot of time here. We do a couple of works. Most of my time after that, it was promo.
Hmm.
I was doing promo in Manhattan,
Hmm.
you know, with
Yeah.
some guy named Skadanks. I used to be there every Sunday night. We used to do promo.
Yeah.
Say we promoting the album and thing like that. It wasn't much for me, I still give thanks. I know so well then there's people who still get to know you
Hmm.
by taking some of the hard road. That's why I tell most of the youth them it's not easy because our DJ career is still like construction worker building a 3-story building alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't achieve much up till this day, but give thanks for
Mhm.
the journey.
Yes. Did you find that it was easier having Supercat as a brother or harder having him as a brother in the business?
Well, I wouldn't say it harder, because it's not easy. No work in our learning is easy.
Hmm.
But um, my journey, as I'm saying, I got to be able to master my own craft because it may work for Supercat, it might not work for you that easy.
Hmm.
Don't be like you wanna be too greedy
Hmm.
or be bad mind,
Hmm.
you know. That before the sun, I would never betray my brother. I learned so much from Supercat where I would say it's good for me,
Yeah.
you know, it's good for me.
Makes a lot of sense because again, it seems like at that time the senior DJs would have been Cat and Nicodemus, and then the junior DJs by your name would be Junior Cat and Junior Demus at that time there. But you
Right.
guys had to figure
Just
it out.
on the just on the album because Juna Demas was still a bigger star for me at the time.
Okay.
And it wasn't like we was companion because he was Juna Demas solo.
Hmm.
So I have to be able to fit myself in there now,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
And
And
that's what I
how long did the Wild Apache deal last for with you then?
well as I say, I remember we would sign for a year.
Hmm.
And we'd still end up there 5 years. Because I wasn't there because of that deal. I was there because it's family.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So I wasn't even looking like I'm just working. It's just family,
Hmm.
And up till this day, it's just like that still.
Yeah.
So I have to be able to still find a way to make yourself happy and to survive
Hmm.
without have to stress your family.
Makes sense because earlier on in the conversation, you said at one point you were living with Cat in Long
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah, I was living there. Demas was living there too. Angel was living there. All of us was there. Yeah, I used to live there. When I went there to when I signed the contract,
Hmm.
most of the time I would be there alone because, as I tell you, cat signed to Colombia, so I have to go to places,
Hmm.
and I would just be there, you know. Yeah. So sometime I would have to leave to as I tell you, I'm a type of person would find friends and find people and
Hmm.
just start to do things on my own.
Hmm.
So I end up find people and start sing song and I find Philip Smart studio on my own and them hear me DJ and I would know people who know me from the dance hall who would recommend me. So
Hmm.
I went to Superpower record for Shelly Power again
Hmm.
because I was always working and I know the craft because I'm from the dance hall. I have lyrics that
Yeah.
can carry me through.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Big, big, big right there. All right. So you stayed in New York for a while and then you came back to Jamaica, right?
Yep.
Okay. Talking about Jamaica, there's actually three clashes that I want to ask you about. All right. To me, the most famous one is the one with you and Bounty, and then Supercat had to get involved with that. How did that start and what kicked off that war there?
Oh, that wasn't even a clash, because my segment of DJing, when I was DJing, when even Bounty them came to the studio, it wasn't even a hype because I was stepping it so hard when me that do my thing. Nobody couldn't clash with me.
Hmm.
They learn after me.
Hmm.
Enough things them learn after me. Mustering, make people laugh, giving joke,
Hmm.
DJing, and you know what I mean? People would say you waste too much time because, but I'm just like that sometimes. I just make the joking. Me the first man to start them thing that's to the mustering. It's
Yeah.
because sometimes it get away and the language them where the people them start to use, we cut from that,
Hmm.
right? And the way we used to rhyme just to muster. People take it and put it in for them lyrics, so we was wasting time. So when we ready for DJ, the style where we DJ and the way we DJ, they
Hmm.
couldn't keep up with we for say we a clash. So I wouldn't say me and Bounty clash. I went to Delly Rankin birth night party.
Yes.
I wasn't even invited. We was just party. We a
Hmm.
party.
Hmm.
And Delly called me to the stage. And I remember I was testing out this new lyrics and never ever recall Bunty was in the place and take it so
Yes.
personal because we wasn't on stage together.
Got you.
Killer was there and I was on stage.
Hmm.
And after I DJ a couple more tunes. I've been there for a couple of minutes, then I left. Then I hear Killer come to the stage. Somebody tell me the morning and you know, it, it was saying things, that sound like we have something personal.
Hmm.
But that was just Killer at the time. Because if you know Killer when Killer did younger, that's him.
Yeah.
I never push any fire like I was told with Bounty Killer like that because it wasn't like that.
Hmm.
I was just a solo DJ by myself where me touch many buttons and people know that Junior Cat not really a pink pie in nobody.
Yeah. So how did Supercat actually get involved with that? Because I know the song "Scalp Them" had Bounty's name in it, and all you guys were actually inside that video. There was off of the album there.
I don't know, but as I said,
Hmm.
um I was doing my thing,
Hmm.
and them was doing them thing because Cat did record back a couple song and then Killer record back a couple song
Hmm.
answering in Cat. I was there not even know what's going on, But
Yeah.
but me know I was there with Cat them, you know. Killer was my virgin see me because I never remember me and Killer have any vibes otherwise, but as I tell you, Killer was like that.
Yeah.
Then I remember I was pushed aside from that war, so I have nothing to do with it. I remember I went back to Jamaica
Yes.
and went back to check jamming.
Hmm.
And Jammy was telling me, no disrespect,
Mhm.
I don't have any time right now. Wasn't like I messed up like or anything, you know. I'm just on a learning process
Mhm.
and it didn't work out. So Jammins was not enemy of me, but being me left, it
Mhm.
never feels so good because he was telling me, the position you were in and the plans that was set for you was not normal because the world was listening to you after these few singles and the album and thing,
Mhm.
you know. But I moved after New York. I never regret nothing, but you know, gaining other experience and things and put everything together
Mhm.
make me the person who I am now. For no say, what is for you is for you. And if you was to supposed to be the man at that time
Mhm.
and it never worked, you wasn't supposed to be. So believe in that and you won't hurt yourself, you know?
Yeah, you're 100% right about that. All right. One other war that a lot of people don't know about, it's a one-away war, was a time where it was actually you were on Bodyguard versus
Yeah.
Jaro with Chaplin and Hammermouth. What had
Yeah.
happened there?
I remember, Jaro,
Mhm.
one at a time. I don't know what's going on.
Mhm.
But as I tell you, we was working the sound when Ricky Chupa Amamount came there.
Got you.
And Ricky Chupa came there as a DJ
Mhm.
before he started to select the sound, but Ima Amamount came there.
Got you.
All right. Um, been Supercat gone, Early B gone. Now Amamount and Charlie Chaplin started to work the sound. I went to this dance in Portmore where Bodyguard and Jaro was playing.
Mhm.
And I don't remember what happened now, but something wasn't going right with me and Jaro,
Mhm.
you know? And I decided I go and DJ Bodyguard. And Bodyguard was even a DJ sound. They was
No.
not accepted DJ. They don't use DJ. And I decided I go and DJ Bodyguard,
Mhm.
you know? And being a little youth coming up by myself and people feel like if I don't have Ninjaman with me or Junior Demos or Supercat, me can't do my thing by myself or I'm afraid I'm a DJ.
Mhm.
So me put on pressure upon them.
Yes.
And then I remember Chaplin was saying stuff like was personal, you know? And then I'm a mouth.
Mhm.
Them never into me from jar or time neither because as I tell you, we was there before them. So that's where it start, you know what I mean? But
Got
being one unity, um, he was a co-worker, so we always have to show love,
you. Mhm.
right? And all of these things that you hear happen here, muscle,
Mhm.
was this was like nothing to what never get on a videotape.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Um last one here. This was a really funny type of war. I don't even know why it happened in the first place. I don't even know if I could call it a war. You and Sean Paul on Stone Love's 25th anniversary. What had happened there?
As I say, you know what I mean? With Sean Paul now, I'm not gonna say Sean Paul is a enemy to me or not like that because me and Paul
Mhm.
remember me together by Dan One.
Mhm.
Big up Dan One, I'm a virgin. And we was by Dan One. Enough artists don't even know Dan One. They never been to Dan One place. Dan One place was like a paradise to we them time they're coming to New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Many people just come in and come off at the airport and just go straight to Don Juan.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And meet Sean Paul there. Enough people never know about Sean Paul them time. We have a look at one song. Then I realized Sean Paul getting big, you know. Start bust now and thing I go. And I went to Stone Love 25th anniversary. And I hear them say Junior Cat versus Sean Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have nothing to do with it. I don't know about it. I wasn't on the flyer for the dance or nothing. I don't even know how them know me in the dance.
Yeah.
You understand? All right. Then them say it again. And as I tell you, Muscle, I've been through enough roughness in a clash where I'm not going to say me never lose. But I'm not afraid of DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Like DJ on stage, not to clash with artists. I'm not afraid to DJ.
Mm-hmm.
So if you call me, I'm going to come. And I remember when I went there, Paul was already there. Also his brother.
Okay.
So being me thinking to myself that if he's here with them, then somebody set this up or somebody know about this. Is it we gonna DJ our brothers or we gonna go at each other?
Mm-hmm.
That was exactly what happened. You know? And them say if a guy throw a stone, you throw back stone, not being you want to bust people head, but you want to protect yourself. And that's the best I could do.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And him get couple forward, me get couple forward, and I don't know from that, you know, it's like something changes, but I know him get big. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's whether Sean Paul call me. And it's the same thing we are talking about. And him I said to me, say, you see it, people try to set we against each other. And it shouldn't be like that because we should be doing things together.
For sure.
And I'm saying to myself that this sounds good because if you saying that to me as the bigger man,
Mm-hmm.
it's never too late for a shower rain, so I'm still not gonna say you wait too long. But we always know Bob Marley tell us that them keep us hungry, and if you forget some food, your brother will be a worse enemy. You know, and that's why I tell the man them in the muscle. You ever see a U-Haul truck behind a hearse?
Yeah.
You're not carrying anything. So don't afraid for share and let us live good because a little of something is better than the whole lot of nothing. And what is mashing up the industry of reggae music now? Nobody is looking out for nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And everybody about say nothing now go on, nothing now go on. But them are sing about riches every day. It's fantasy and it's causing a lot of problems. Why don't we sing about the sufferation then? All right, tell people our personal life then. It's not like we are look down nation.
Yeah.
But why every time a man do a song now, if him now sing about riches now, you know, and then the video them a show you a whole heap of money and all them things. So it look like say things really are going, but you know, is not healthy
Yeah.
to show the people them the wrong picture.
Yeah.
I think the message and the picture not go together. You know what I mean? They're not getting it, you know, and that's what really causing the problem now, right now, may I tell you. The greed
Mm-hmm.
and the style.
Yeah.
That's not where we coming from because when we used to DJ Killamanjaro sound, if a man buy a box of beer, each person get one.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And we wasn't even a DJ for money because when we go to the dance and them kill the goat, you get a plate of curry goat or you get a soup. So man that say you're a DJ for curry goat and soup. As DJ, the cost them 100 and tell them that say, oh,
Yeah.
you're DJ boy already. Yeah, that's the tradition where we are come from.
Yeah.
You understand me? I say? So when a man give you all money now and them thing there, you can't say how much this make me count it. Because it's like we never value nothing.
Yeah.
We cannot get up and talk about, oh, reggae now sell and not now going for reggae. We don't want reggae. What we
Okay.
used to do in the 70s, that them are doing in Europe now. It's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? I never sell nothing because I never own nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Makes sense. It's the long journey. It's a long,
Yeah.
long journey also.
All I they are try a bill. And if them all give her money must we still have to go work for it, so try don't take sick.
Yeah.
There's no handout here. If Corona come and them say the racers Jackie them a ball riding what them call it, they go make sure so them get something. Artists not getting nothing and our job not coming back for now. Cause them say crowd is a problem. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. So
So it
you have to just be a real prophet and just, you have to just preserve,
for sure.
you know? Take away
You
yourself.
understand. You
But to
understand.
exile, yeah, you think people like you, they like your music.
Mhm. That's a good one, because again, it wasn't until I would say probably the last 7 months we've really got deep into conversations with artists. Before that, you would get interviews here, interviews there, but not really as deep as we've gotten the other day. Because you're right, a lot of time people don't like the artist; they like the music.
Yeah, because I like the song, but by meeting some of the people sometime, it will turn you up and it will turn you down because people have different moods.
Hmm.
Now, some of these people not really thinking that people helping them, they think that them helping people.
Hmm.
We cannot survive without the people.
Hmm.
The massive who make we who we are.
Hmm.
So anytime you feel like you is a man, you make a mistake, must like God Almighty, the man, and him give you the power to do the work.
You
You know
understand?
what I mean? And the
You
more
do.
you understand yourself, is the more people will understand you, and you can tell them about your life story and your situation so them know that it's not everything that glitter is gold because if you don't bear, you don't grow. I mean, not many people can bear,
Hmm.
Them can't bear. Tell them about beer, them to get about red stripe. You know what I mean?
Always have the lyrics. That's what I like with you. Always have the
Yeah.
lyrics. Let me
Yeah.
ask you, when it came to your career so far, from you started up until today, when would you say was the highest point of your career today?
Still don't reach there yet, muscle.
There has to be, I'm not talking about the ultimate goal, I'm talking about today. You can't see past today.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right. With today now,
Hmm.
what's really going on today?
Hmm.
It's just it's just still trying to do the work. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like I'm here singing, DJing.
Hmm.
Is sometimes you feel like better you try with some youth, if it's that direction we're going, if that's what you're really saying.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But the ice point in my life in DJ business,
Hmm.
where I can tell you, you know, is when I went to England and all them places there,
Hmm.
and the respect where people give me never have myself so big.
Okay.
Where you come from, where a man might never get a seat to sit down and a man a get two chair and go one you need. I want if I
Mhm.
really chew him a talk or pretend him a pretend. People love artists, man. Me I tell you that, man. Me know that, man. Not for the artists, them even at Jamaica. If a man him juke you down with a gun once him find out say that singer or DJ, him not to hurt him, He must stop singing and him not remember him so good.
Yeah.
You understand? So it go with that blessing where you have to know, say, sometime is not where you gain
Hmm.
or where you not gain.
Hmm.
Is the life where you live becomes a musician. The title is given to you. You understand me?
Hmm.
That man where you know personally say you can protect a next man with the power of that. if you use it the right way.
For sure.
You see me I say? Yeah, because music alone shall live. Enough of the great musicians, them might not hear, but people still love them and remember them because them set a good pace.
Yeah.
You see me I say? And as me tell you again, say it's only the people them where sometime a man can say, boy, I meet some artists in the Rasta and the way the man them go on, it not give me no vibes and it turn me off. It's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
The older people them never used to be like that.
Yeah.
Them never used to mash up nothing, them used to fix things.
Makes sense. When it came to, since I asked you about the highest part of your career, I gotta ask you about what's been the lowest part of your career.
As I tell you, the lowest part of my career,
Mhm.
I don't afraid to tell you,
Mhm.
is really that time when I went back to Jamaica.
Mhm.
When I tell you when Killer did really run the place,
Mhm.
So having these songs wasn't bad, because remember, it's one heap of ass in the race, It depends on which one of them really I go win the race.
Mhm.
Me never really in a no race. Me just with that check to myself. So well then, since being now Bounty Killer run the place now and you come back to Jamaica, you have to find a way to live. I went back to Junior Reid. And that's
Yes.
where I do the show now and come true.
Bam.
And start bunks now and thing, and then now me start get calls now and thing from all Europe and all them places. Then me went to Sugar Miner to that team studio down the road, Sugar Miner advice me upon the rhythm there. Rockfort Rock,
Mhm.
Fire I go burn, redder than red, you
Yes.
know. Give me some money and thing, and there with Junior Reid to see him way. But me spend most of the time around Junior Reid because me that do an album with Junior Reid and then now it's like me a Ninjaman in the back of Junior Reid now them time they use that Baby Wayne and them youth they run the place now again. You
Mhm.
understand me I say? So
Mhm.
it's always been among hardworking people where you have to prove yourself. I wasn't with no lame donkey where me could have tell you say, well then, me could have easy because me did better than them man. The man them me that shot.
Yeah.
So me have to find a way to keep up. So is the same thing that me can have a song now. If me did even the 10, there must be one good one.
For sure.
You know? And
Yeah.
is that really make me as a person now where me can say, well then, if you build something, you must can live or fight if there's nothing else to do. And it's
Yeah.
something good that you make. You must can eat or fight or live or fight.
For sure. Because I know you're someone, it's like your dub plates seem to be most that seems to be the where you really get the bulk of your career is dub plates and live dances. Cause when it comes to dubs come through killing people, um the glove, there's so much of them, and when you play them in a clash, those are some of the biggest forwards to this day right here.
Yeah, and I wasn't doing them song as me tell you most like I know what I was doing because them time I used to just love, that's why I can't blame some of the music. I used to just love DJ,
Mhm.
gun song.
Yes.
And then I remember one time I was with Leroy Smart, and I was doing a rehearsal and Leroy Smart was saying, so where's the love song?
Mhm.
And where's the reality song? You rehearse 8 gun song, man.
Mhm.
And I say, and I really think about it, and I really said to myself, say, there's no way you can build a cake with coconut alone and it be a good cake.
For sure.
And people are gonna like it. I
Mhm.
don't think so.
Mhm.
Hey, Juna Cat, you have to start put some flavor in this thing, And that's when I really did done sing the gun song them already because I had somewhere you don't know.
Yeah.
And people be coming to me now, Muscle, never ask me to sing a reality song. not for the big reality artists that may come to New York. No man no want to surround up plate them time there, you know. You have to sing
Gunshot.
bad man tune, you know.
Mm-hmm.
If you step up
Mm-hmm.
now down one place all 3-4 times a day, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No. Gun business are not good something or nice something, you know. And
Yeah.
then now by you singing around there and thing, now see like say well then everybody have got accept it, you know, because when the thing happen, you know, them all play back the song, so it all look like you're the gunman, you know. You
Mm-hmm.
understand me? So we have to make the people them know say it's just music. So make we do look like this and we do look like that then. So them can put everything together. So you can just say him a gunman, him a good man, and him a bad man. So good cover bad. So better you do more good and then that will guide you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what it is? You grew up to. You went through, you've been DJing from the early 80s until right up until now. So you had to mature and grow up. You can't DJ about gun from I'm
Yeah.
15 till I'm however. It wouldn't make any sense. Clearly you had to mature your style.
We never even used to have friend. Because
Mhm.
once we you clash, we don't talk to you again.
Yeah.
And that's how we used to live.
Yeah.
And if you is even the father for the person, we don't chat to you either.
Yeah.
So we malice young and old. And then of lately we find out that we need one another.
Mhm.
You know, because if two sound not clash, how it a go nice. One sound can't clash.
Yeah.
You understand?
Mhm.
So we find out that that's why I mash up the thing now because the same people them who we never used to like is the same people and we end up miss.
Mhm. No,
And
it is
that's not a
so.
good thing, you know? So we need more of us.
Mhm.
So some people feel like the music business overload. It need more people with good heart who speak the truth. You understand me? So a
I
man
agree.
can know that well, you not only come for reap, you come for teach.
Mhm.
You understand me? Because people have sense and them not fool. Artists comfortable most of them, but what them try to do is set fire.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's not a good thing because reggae music is a spiritual thing, you know. You know what I mean? And is the people them. Is the people them sometimes. It's not the music.
Yeah.
It's the people them, you know?
Makes sense. I got
Yeah.
two questions. I got two more questions before I get you out of here. All right. First one here, we've covered it. You know what? I'm going to squeeze in one more. Three. You're part of the crew. As I say, it had like Nicodemus, Tenasa, Early B, Supercat, and all of them. Three of them had passed. Nicodemus, Early B, Tenasa. How close were you to any one of those three of them, if any at all?
I wasn't that close with Tenor, but I was like Early B's son. I was like Nicodemus' son. You know, I would leave when used to live here at Cat House. I would leave with Demas in Demas' car. I would remember leave here for 3-4 days. I would sleep in the car, you
Mhm.
know, pull up at places, you know, went to the store, change clothes, went to other club. Because I was DJing with Demas before I was even singing big tune, you know.
Okay.
You know, Demas just wanna come to Cat Place and see that I'm there and me and him gone. The next thing we know, we in Philly, we in Washington, we in Boston, you know. And I used to be at Brooklyn at Early B yard every day,
Mhm.
you know. And when Early B, even the night before Early B died, me and him was together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I was very close to these people. Is like, you know, my mentor, these people is people like my personal blood. And then when them lose them life, it affects me so much where I still carry on. I still carry on. So this journey of DJ business, like I just jump into it and bust and buy a car or buy a house or buy some gold chain and thing. No, it's like I'm pushing water up a hill without a pump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm still here now. So it's not like say, well, me are the best of the best and all them things, but more million.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then easy push over like say to a guy would have sing 2-3 hit song and all them. People know me I run to him no more. And like me I run down nothing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Me love DJ business, you know. A man tell me one time to sing 3 tune and the man say, that at 10 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
So him tell him friends, say, once him start, him not stop, you know, get away. I've easing my pain when me say me I go DJ. Me not go DJ one tune muscle.
Yeah.
We used to DJ Jar alone when nobody else are coming. And we try and
Hmm.
measure the lyrics them and fit them and remember say I'm 30, you know. So go on. The DJ them first time, you know, this no man, but most man used to have a one album or two album. See?
Hmm.
And we never sing the whole album, but the amount of single we sing, we find ourselves for that 300-400 songs, 250 songs. People just don't know some of them.
Crazy.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's
from what
crazy
I
there.
time everything I sang and me really my daddy I run and me sit down there bonus cliff. And by me tell him put on the mic, him think of them on me I do.
Mhm.
And the song make a voice.
Ready.
Yeah, the song make a voice, man.
Hmm. Crazy, crazy. You being Junior Cat, Super Cat being Super Cat, what kind of influence has he had on your life as an artist and on your career also?
Well, as me say, me watch them do great things, you know, and as me say, you know, Catters have a big catalog where some people don't even know,
Hmm.
you know. So what happened now is that him did theme work, you know.
Hmm.
Most people don't really know this Junior Cat.
Hmm.
I'm trying to make my way through this passage and see if they would accept me and know so well then I never really make a big song in America like all one of them big chart there muscle. You understand me I say?
Yeah,
I see myself as a person still in the underground.
got you.
You understand me? And you know that say with all them tune, iron gloves and all them tune there, it's just like street number one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't a no big chart where we can say, yeah, but you know, if it should happen, we are still here. And the best is there to come.
For
And
sure.
this is a mission and it's work, you know?
Non-stop work. You get it.
Yeah, it's work.
You get it. Junior Cat, it's been a great conversation. As I said, this is the last question I have for you right here. It's 2020 right now, all right? Right
Yeah.
now, I know we're all down and everything. Right now, I know you're in New York working on some new stuff. What could we expect from you 2020? What type of new music are you working on right now?
I have a new tune that's released, Muscle, and I want to send it to you. It's called Bad Living, you know.
Yeah.
It's called Bad Living, you know. And I'm mostly talking now, like, I'm not so hungry again, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go at it like that. I just want to really speak the truth and make people know, say, Jackass did say the earth no level, you know.
Hmm.
And there is so much thing going on now where if you get the chance to teach, just teach.
Mhm.
And if you're not teaching, make sure you learn. You understand?
Mhm.
And the knowledge where we gain as you to come to this point now, boy, we don't know what to expect in the next 3, 4, 5 years. And just a hurt without it and to a man and move like them out for any.
Hmm.
So we just I beg the man them say, see with the music now we're not send out. Try put even one or two message in it where make sense, where somebody can learn something after. Me now fight against a man and him X-rated or him ranchy or him gun song and all them thing there, but
Mhm.
in a master God world, you know, boy, nobody no response to we but him, you know, and one jealous God, you know, so if you don't speak of him not to respond to you, know, so kind
Mhm.
of deal with that positive part right there and make we talk about the younger kids them we are come up. Cause right now, some of them can't go to school, the muscle, and it a mash them up, you know.
For sure.
And like say, them can just put them online and say them all right. Them used to go out and meet with them one another and the school over and them learn more so
Mhm.
because I saw the thing said. So when we see how it a go now and we are say then put away me and you then because them call it say we live with life, we are dinosaur.
Yeah.
So if you kill the kids them then that the future that them are damaging us. So if we not have no future come we not have nothing, you know.
Yeah.
So we are me and you work for no make no sense, you know.
Hmm.
So it better we look on the positive part right there and say, oh, it get lonely and it get dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the man them have to use some more art and put away some of the head. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when people give them head, it's not so good. It says they give more art, it is more love.
For
And
sure.
we can work with that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But as me tell you, place a sink. I don't know me and your fault. So one person can help we, and it's the most high God. So if you mash up your people and know you want to mash up him people, him not gonna allow that. He's close by coming soon. So mankind have to be careful of what them are doing sitting on a time bomb here, gentlemen.
It's so crazy out there right now, and you really have to know what you're doing, and especially coming from somebody like you that lived the life. You gave us all of the gunman music, all the bad man music,
Yeah.
and then you turn around and started to do more of the conscious stuff. You're more believable because you're not coming from a place where you never did it. You used to do it, so then we could hear you now.
If you're spiritual, you will feel it, muscle man. There's a lot of trap set, you know.
Hmm.
There's a lot of trap set, you know, but it's for you to know where you walk.
Hmm.
And you can't guide yourself all the while. The Almighty have to guide you. So you have to call on him because most of the good move we make is not really, we make it on our own, you know.
Hmm.
You understand me?
Yeah,
It's the most I say come this way. So that's why them say goodness is better than badness because you can live off of good.
yeah.
You will sink around on the next side there.
Hmm.
So if God did help you, that's you not sink. Try help our next youth because nobody not help nobody again because the head man job is to get rid of goodness.
Yeah.
It not exists again.
Hmm.
If a youth had do so much good, then talk about him.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? A man I do so much negative things now and thing and whether upon a website or a internet or what have you. People focus on that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They not look for the good part of the stuff or the good part of the world. People dig into corruption. You know what I mean? That's why you know so well then say, and God run the earth because if I made run the certain thing go on, I couldn't go on. You understand me? You have to have him and you have to overcome them. It's the devil reign around you. So how you fight him? Understand me? It's good over evil, man.
For sure.
It's good
For
over
sure.
evil. And if you just believe in that, they're not gonna like you. Because there's evil.
Hmm.
And you have people get evil and evil more and more every day because they feel like if they say God Almighty today, they're gonna get glory tomorrow. You have to line up. You know what I mean? You
You
have
have
to
to get in
line up.
line.
Yeah, you have to line up. There's people before you that love him too.
Yeah.
You understand me? And doing the good so long and never get no glory because they're not doing it for handout.
Hmm.
They're doing it for people like me and you, but people that feel like nobody don't care about them. Do look good sometime. And we've been doing it for a long time, and that's why we're still here now and we just know say it work.
Okay.
Work.
You get it. You understand. As I said,
Yeah.
2020. Is there any artist, any producer, anybody that you're working with where we could actually expect some music for 2020?
Well, as I say, if them come, them come. I never turn down nothing, but it's one thing I know in life.
Hmm.
If it is music, and music not have no boundary nor no border. So if it's even a gospel song, I will find two good line and fit in there
Hmm.
and make it look good.
Hmm.
So that means me have plans for who not start yet, it better for them. So any producer and you feel like say give Junior Cat a call.
Yeah.
It might not be the best, but we work every day on different projects for people and many of the people them tell me say, Cat, this one that sound good.
Hmm.
Where the local youth call me from a small island. Him say him get me number for an interview when we do that interview me and teach them. And him say him been looking for me for a long time and him said to me, say, hey, me have a Grammy link for me and you. And I said, stop swell up my head, man. I'm saying, think I joke. I'm a vice the tune said go give him. The man said, I one of the baddest in combination him ever hear. And I me and him.
Hmm.
And I said to him, say, self-praise is no recommendation, man. The man said, no, man, put away that aside. It's one of the baddest combinations. I said, I hope you put it out and make the world hear it. Because I'm hoping to show the people one of these days before we sign off, say, I'm going to do a good one.
Big right there. As you said, give them some contacts if they want to check out anything Junior Cat has coming up, or if they wanted to connect with you or anything. Leave some contacts if you're on Instagram or email, anything. Leave some contacts here.
Well, as I say, them can go and look on this one. It's on all digital platform. It's distributed by Zojak. It's called Bad Living. I produced that one on the Mr. Mirage label. You understand me? But you don't know Junior Cat now. Me in Jamaica there right now, muscle now. Me there New York now, but Jamaica my place. So them can reach me from 1-876-277-8068. You understand me? 1-876-277-8068. Junior Cat, that's what I say. Them know my style, man. Them know my
You
style.
do any social media? You're on Instagram, Facebook, or anything?
Yeah. JuniorCat011@gmail.com.
Perfect. Before I get you out of here, I have to ask you for an old school medley before we get out of here. Drop something for us here.
Okay. Man, so play by the king of all I bring play the ball sound to make a keep and get around with it from country, with it from town. But I say, send them come. Panjuna can't I go turn them down. When you hear me, I say, send them come. Panjuna can't Selassie I son. When you hear me, seems to we no matter who we kill them. Send the next one come challenge with. And in a minute, the general alright to bury them in the cemetery. Whosoever shall make gun, them are the same one we break down. Whosoever shall make gun, them are the same one we break down. Politics business, you know that for done. It's for done. You know that for we are top dog and we not take back no talk. This up Junior Cat and everything right up. We are top dog and we not take back no talk. This up Junior Cat and everything right. Come catch it, general I want them, general I teach them, general I show them. Come get me pass me, go up pass me, come down back. Them a travel too fast, I feed them time for. But I say y'all all love reggae music and I make me so the one. Badang bang bang. All love Bob Marley and I make me so the one. Wanna hear me? Man never want only thing without the gloves up on the general on. They couldn't find fingerprint upon no murder weapon. Sealer, them think a Reebok or a Fila, you better take it up to the dealer.
Brap. Junior Cat, listen to me. Your vibe is always so crazy. It's like as soon as you say music, it just jumps into you and you turn it on immediately, ready to go.
That's all I got, muscle. That's all I got. It's not my job, it's my life. Because sometimes I think of the money we want. If we don't get for DJ, it will feel pain and it brings sorrow because it get dark and the music is well lighting we up. We'd find places to go. We know that we used to go out Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and we go out and I don't go to dance and like dancing is not my style to go out and drink and party. I go for the mic. Microphone.
Crazy. Thank you so very much for sitting down. Your honesty and your openness, they're really going to enjoy what you had to say. Trust me.
Yeah, because you have to tell people the truth. Don't be like you want to pretty up nothing or you want to pretend or nothing. Because when them find out, it make you look stupid. You know what I mean? There's no hype in this, When we used to DJ, there was no hype. I used to wear my brother's shoes and pants because I never have any clothes for myself. It was a rough thing. So I was really trying to make something. I wasn't trying to sport.
Big. Understand. I can't wait till all this is over and you come to Kenya and we actually sit down in the studio and connect again.
You know that because Canada is my place. When I come up there and check Pablo and we get to all our vibes with Soul Survival place there, and it's so good that I know I could travel and I'm a legal person and they know I have a career. So it's not like I'm going up to do something is not, I'm a working person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Thank
so that's what we really want to see, and we would love that, and we pray to the Most High God to beg Him to see whatever happening, Father. Just make it happen for the people them who really going through a hard time with the music and people have them kids to feed and people sound system have to close down when them spend how much thousands of dollars on dub plate and you know what I mean and we would like to see the most I bless with that we can meet up again and never put no mask over our face. You know, we don't really like the mask, but we have to wear it because them talking this and talking that, you know. That's one of the most things we affect Pat Anthony because he's not supposed to wear a mask because you have a heart sickness and that's killing most of the people and because you have to breathe out, not in and out. You know, and get fresh air and not many people have a good interior and that's one of the killer too. And so it's smart. There's many ways to hang a dog without put a rope around his neck.
Well, you see, because you've been around, you understand things on a different level. You could think for yourself. A lot of people don't think for themselves.
Just put the mask over your face, muscle, and run up the stage. As good as your artist, put on the mask and run up the stage. But you have to wear it because what you gonna do? You don't want to be like you the unruly one. Them say wear the mask.
Mm-hmm. So you get it, trust me. And big up, Little Demas for actually making this happen. You know what I mean? Big
caliber,
big respect. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of things happen, you know, for this interview. I forgot you know. You remember, you know, good things come to those who wait. We fight hard and it never work, and we decide so we're gonna do this, you know, in the near the most and today. Mm-hmm. We had a rough challenge earlier on, and we still decide we're going to do the interview, and you know, in the name of the Most High God, everything will be positive, man. Just believe.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this right here was originally, I knew him as Little Demas, all right, but then he changed his name right now to High Caliber. He's doing a lot of stuff right now. So you tell us what's going on right here, right now with you and Junior Cat in New York, High Caliber.
Well, you know, project after project, you know, we can't play around with that still. Every day is a new day. So if you wake up before, you know, you sink way.
You understand?
Well, we have a couple of tunes together, you know, and him have a new rhythm then out, so we out for bomb it and drop it. But as you know, we look over about the drive-by shooting in collaboration style. And him have some other rhythm, and we have a local studio we work out. So most of the time we here, we not bother sit down in the house. We go by there and
drop up certain thing there, you know?
Yeah. Good. And when could we be expecting to see those songs come out?
Drive-by shooting out, and
drive-by shooting is out already.
You have a new song. You must have a new song out.
This High Caliber Junior Cat. I have one next one called She Call Me Salt and Pepper. That one they are going good. The producer drop out 1 year from him down at Jamaica, down at water outside. Him must have one young kid promising career, you know. He did a work with Idonia and Massacre and all them young, you know, because he's a young artist, a young.
Yeah, but yeah, tell him about your production now.
You know,
personal production.
No, but I just show you say.
Yeah, sing for other people.
Yeah, I sing for people too besides my own production
you know, stuff. Yeah.
So me have one more with him still. So me I go drop it same way like how him drop out. Rest in peace, J-Bad, and him drop out. Me still I got just carry through with a little one more tune there where me have film, and then me have one couple more where me have with Demas and Cat, Junior Demas, Cat, and I think a couple more artists I got up on the rhythm there too. Or up on this actual song still. Cause Mama told me. And then me have the one where me I talk about called Be Careful of Who. You have to watch out of your friend them. Cause you know we change with name, we change with style. Cause you know, too much Demas on the thing.
Yeah.
Original Demas, Junior Demas. And big up, rest in peace, original Demas, Nicodemus. Cause without him, we wouldn't even be in this little picture right now. We might not even think about reggae music. And Nicodemus make me know that me can do it same way. Before, as a little youth, me see him. Big up Jawbreaker, me and him, you know, used to sing and go on like Nicodemus and Junior Demus. And then one day me see Nicodemus and I said, no, I hate that. Yeah. And from I hate that. Never used to rate no singer, none of that back then. Only Tenor Saka was part of the crew, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, me learn to just love and stick with the music, and now I hate that, being it.
For sure. High Caliber. We're going to look out for that one there, the remix you did with Junior Cat. It's been a great conversation, gentlemen. Let me give you guys an outro and get you out of here, all right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Muscle, and this has been another Two Line Music Hut's Entertainment Report podcast, and we are out. This podcast is brought to you by www.twolinesmusichut.com.